Well, I'd just like to share with you how does this concept work and a little bit of how this functions and what is a dual fuel system. A dual fuel means that we're starting using gasoline and later we'll use diesel. We'll add to it the hydroxy gas to extend the mileage and improve the burn, the economy and efficiency of the engine. Now, in a sense, I just told you something that isn't quite complete, which may not be quite true. Because the other side of the coin is we have to look at what is happening in the engine today. Why is the efficiency of an automobile so bad when they tell you that the automobile has been hundreds of years in development, it's the most efficient thing that you could have? Well, there's one problem, and that's where they put the catalytic converter. When in most of these engines, almost every internal combustion engine, 60% of the fuel burns in the tailpipe. And why? Because the gasoline is a heavy, long-chain hydrocarbon. And because of that, it will not vaporize in the engine. It has to be run through a catalytic converter in the exhaust system to break it down so it'll burn. So you burn 60% in the tailpipe. And you only use 30% of the fuel to drive your car down the road. Now we're going to remedy that. You know what that means? They closed the barn door after the horsepower got out. Now we're going to close the barn door before the horsepower even gets in. And we'll keep the horses in the corral. So now our job here is to figure out how to do that. Now part of what we're talking about here will be how do you turn water into water gas. Part of our talk will be about how do we crack the fuel and turn it into something lighter that will burn in the engine. And third, we're going to talk about how we control all that with your computer so everything doesn't go wild and the bucking Broncos go out the door. We don't want them out the door. We want them in the combustion stroke. So that's where we are today. And this little cell is the heart of the cell here. This is called, well, it's our dual fuel water gasification system. Now, what do we mean by water gasification? In nature, water has three phases. You know them all. There's ice, that's one phase of water. You have water, this is liquid, that's the second phase. And the third phase is water vapor. But it's all water. Now we have a fourth phase, which is not truly water, it's hydroxy. And the atoms within the molecule of water are separated and cracked apart, then returned together in a stoichiometric mixture that will quickly break apart to use for our purposes. Now we use it two ways. One is we can drive a car totally on water gas or hydroxy, but we're not ready yet. There's still complications. That's still under R&D, and it may take years before that ever happens. But right now, with this system here, with all the parts we'll go over, this system right here, we can go 50% to 100% increase. We won't guarantee any mileage. Our warranty guaranteed is simply that if you work 6 months with our installer after you buy this unit, they put it on, you will get a complete guarantee or warranty that if you don't like it for any reason, you will get your money back 100%. Now I'll show you a picture of the cracker a little later, but what that does is thermal catalytic cracking. What is that? Thermal catalytic cracking means we heat up the fuel at a certain temperature. We do it in the presence of a catalytic agent, which may be a number of different things. In this particular model, this particular version, it's magnets. We call that one the vaporizer. Now a new one we have is called the cracker. We'll show you that in a few minutes. Now that heat's a little hotter, but it doesn't have magnets in it. We have a third unit we call the CalCat. That combines an electrolytic process, and you'll have the current connected to the plates in various ways, and it cracks the water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. But it doesn't come out separately. The water goes in this point in the bottom, and the gas comes out at the top, and it mixes back together into a hydroxy. then the hydroxy gas will be transformed over into your airstream at some point. We've changed the location, but it'll go in the airstream. So that hydroxy gas will now mix with your gasoline. And what is a catalyst? The catalyst is a element that does not engage in the chemical reaction, but it affects it greatly because of the electron charges that it emits. Now we're going to be